Alright gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here in Hutan Pantai. It is October and there is a tornado in the forecast, and the tornado is actually right over there somewhere. If we go on the mini-map, they did make an update, and you can see it. It's over here causing all kinds of mayhem, so let's go visit this. There it is. There's the tornado right there. Causing all kinds of mayhem. It's relatively close to our land here, so let's hope and pray it doesn't decide to turn and go up this way. Let's hope it stays over here. But nonetheless, we're going to get started here with baling up some bales here right off the bat. I went ahead and took care of, well, I say baling. I went ahead and took care of baling the remainder of the grass that was on the ground here. So we just got to wrap these bales now. That's what I should have said, mistakenly. But you can see the tornado from here, which is kind of cool. I also have the other tractor in the trailer over here ready to go, because eventually we are going to need to load these bales up on that trailer to move them and sell them or whatever we decide to do with them. But for now, they're just going to sit here. Eventually this land is not going to be grass like I mentioned in the last episode, right? Really, we want to go ahead and cultivate it up. We might do that today. Really just depends on where we get to and how much time we have. We do have to harvest our big, massive field today, which is going to take up a significant chunk and a significant portion of our time. So we'll see how things go as far as this goes. Now, what I might end up doing is, a little bit later on, we'll come over here and stack all these bales up on the trailer here, and then I might get the worker going on cultivating this up. Probably the way to go about it, honestly. Because we got a lot to do today. Harvest that field over there, figure out what we're going to do with all the crop from that harvested field, because as you recall, our silo is damn near, it makes no difference, full. So we're going to figure something out for it, because it can't hold as much as we're going to be able to harvest today out of that oat field. Now, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. I actually, yesterday, at the time of this recording at least, I'm recording this on a Sunday, I went to the outdoor NHL Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Detroit Red Wings Stadium Series game. So Columbus, I live in Ohio, as you know. Columbus has never had a outdoor hockey game for the NHL, and this is the first one, and it was fantastic, man. It was the second largest outdoor NHL game that well, I guess it's just the second largest NHL game of all time. Only one beating that was the one that was up at the Big House of Michigan, so it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool to be there. The tickets we bought were decent. They weren't as good as I had initially thought. Well, realistically, I said on another series, I talked about how they were pretty much, it's close, it makes no difference, nosebleedish type of seats. And they weren't as nosebleedish as I thought they were going to be, but it did have a bit of a restriction. You couldn't see the entire ice. There was part of it that was blocked by a big beam. But still, they were decent seats, so wasn't complaining too much. And it was cool to just be there and experience it. I did post a couple of pictures on my Discord, so if you're interested in seeing that, you can check it out from there. Links in the description for the Discord if you want to be a part of that. Yeah, but how's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. So I've mentioned this a couple of the other series, and I'm just going to kind of mention it probably in every series briefly, just in case there are certain people who only watch certain series on the channel. I've decided that we're going to kind of hold off, or with, well, what's the word I'm really wanting to say here? I guess hold off is good. Hold off on doing any kind of a schedule for the time being. We're just going to release videos as they're ready moving forward for a little while and see how that goes. From the discussions I had with my members, they all seem to not really care too much about the schedule. You know, it is what it is. Whatever pops out, that's what that pops out. So, and I think that makes a lot of sense too, right? Instead of me just trying to forcefully do a video to match some arbitrary schedule, let's just, whenever they're ready, let's just get them out there, right? So that's what we're going to do. I also have a bit of a real life work change. It sounds like somebody is going to be getting let go at my work, and I'm going to be taking on all of that responsibility that person had. So I'm going to be a lot busier at work. So just want to make sure that you're aware there may be some periods of time where I may not get a video out every day like I had been in the past. So we'll do the best we can, but I can't guarantee it with the new responsibilities that are being provided to or being pushed onto myself here. but I will do the best I can. Not too many bales left here, but there's quite a lot of bales in this field. This is by far the most bales we've done on this series. It's not even in the same ballpark. That little field that we put in, right? Not even close. Now, a lot of individuals have been bringing up the temple, and truly how much I've underestimated, I guess, the temple, because we have yet to start on it. It isn't a bonus optional objective, right? We don't have to do it. We are going to do it, but you don't have to do it if you take up this challenge. And there's a few people that have taken up the challenge. Their links are in the description, so make sure you check them out. Give them some support. But from what everything everybody's told me, it's going to take an absolute eternity, and the odds are we're going to finish every other thing we have to do on this challenge, and the temple will not even be close. So if that comes to fruition and that's the way that it works out, which by all counts of everybody's comments, that is exactly how it's going to work out, what we're going to do is we are going to allow ourselves at the end to kind of just jump months so we can do it together, right? We'll just buy stuff, buy the stuff we need. Now, from what I've also heard about that, by going that approach, it's very expensive. It's going to cost a couple $1 million. So, the series is going to be running for a while, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, which I'm perfectly fine with. This is a new map. It's a base game map, so anyone can take up this challenge and they could follow along and try to do it and see how they progress, right? So I'm perfectly fine with having this one run a long time. I'm not guaranteeing that there will be 2 or 3 episodes a week. It might get to a point where it's just once a week or whatever, but we're definitely going to be running this one until we get all of that accomplished, no matter how long it takes. We're just going to allow a bit of a modification at the very end, when if everything else is done, the loan's paid off, we've got both the fields we have to purchase, we've got the green beans put into the ground, harvested, all that stuff. If all of that's been accomplished, everything's done, that's when we're going to allow ourselves to skip months per episode. So we could start an episode, let's say it's October right now for, just for example, right? We're starting right now, it's October. Let's say everything's done except for the temple. We need to work on the temple. Well, we can just go ahead and skip to February if we wanted to from right now, during the episode. I think that's the way to go about it, and we'll see how it goes, right? If it's still too much and we're just, going through the motion of skipping months and skipping months and skipping months, maybe we just, maybe I just skip a bunch of months off camera to where we need to get to make some progress, and then we start the video or whatever, right? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go, on the fly, if you will. So a lot of bales here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22? 22 bales? Right around there? Be some good money for silage. Now, our other grass field, I say our other grass field, the main grass field we have there on our yard, that's also ready to harvest today. We're not going to be doing that one today. We did have, some grass work in the last episode. We're doing some now. I'm not going to do that today. We'll save that for probably the following episode. This should be the last one here, and then we should be able to head back, and we can go ahead and get prepped, I guess I should say. Actually, as a matter of fact, we might want to just go ahead and stack these bales up here now. It is still raining, right? And we really don't want to harvest in the rain. It's actually going to rain all day long. That's actually not good. Guess we're not harvesting today. I guess you can scratch that altogether. I did not realize it was going to be raining all day, and that was a mistake on my part. I actually did not look at the weather that closely. I just figured, well, it's the tornado. Normally, it goes away. I would figure it was going to go away around 11 o'clock or so, maybe 12. But, nope, I was incorrect. We are going to be dealing with rain all day long. Let's get a little first-person view here, huh? But we got some other things we can do since we can't harvest today, and that's perfectly fine anyway, right? We don't have anywhere to put all of that crop in the silo, right? We'd have to figure something out for the silo anyway. So if we hold off another month, it'll be November. That's going to be a little bit better for selling some of the stuff, right? Some of the things are going to be best to sell in December. They could be best in November, and if they are, that would help us out tremendously in regard to any kind of silo extension or anything like that, right? We're just going to cut right through the grass here. So perhaps we are going to do a little bit more grass work than I expected. But there, as you can see, everything's got caught up there, so it's all ready to harvest. It's ready to go, so it's just a matter of, you know, waiting for this storm to end, which appears we're going to have to wait till November at this point, because it's not going to be done, it said, until midnight, is what I saw, right? Yeah, midnight. 1 in the morning. We've seen somewhere between 11 and 1 in the morning. Alright, so that's done. Now, before we carry on here, we probably need to flood these fields here. Even though it's raining a lot right now, and potentially if it's going to rain as much as it is today, it probably would just flood it by itself, but, you know, that's not how the game works. So, we're going to flood that. We'll flood this one too. Don't have a ton of money to our name right now, right? We've got very little money here, so gonna have to be careful here a little bit because we've got a loan and that we're incurring and all kinds of stuff. Now we can do contracts, and that might be end up what we do for a little while today. We'll see. Yeah, 95% yield bonus on this oat here, so that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good money for us. So, I guess, based off the fact that we are not going to be able to harvest today, we'll go ahead and get started here, stacking these bales up on the trailer here, because we got to get them moved. That way, we can bring the cultivator over here, and we can cultivate this field up, and we can get something planted in the ground here. That's just going to have to pivot, and that's what we're going to have to do today. I should have upgraded that. I should have upgraded that. That's a mistake on my part. I'm going to go through here and do all of these. This is going to take an eternity. I should have upgraded our bale wrapper to flip the bales on the other side, because I like them being like that, especially if we got to put them on a trailer like the one we have, right, where it doesn't have ends to protect it from falling off. They kind of need to be this way, turned on their end, or however you want to describe it. So let me go and get all these turned around on their end here. I'll get a lot of them pulled over here too. I might even stack some of them up and then be back with you. We'll do this off camera. This is not going to be that exciting, so let's just do this off camera, huh? Alright, well, the tornado just stopped, gang, but it was starting to turn towards us. It was getting dangerously close to us. It didn't get us, but if you look at here, I mean, it was not going to hit us, it looks like, based on the trajectory that it was on, but it was getting close, man. It almost got to the road here, and it was, whew, a little nervous there for a minute. Now, this is not the best stacking job you've seen in before, but it's better than I normally do. I'm going to fully admit that to you, but it's, it could be better. It could definitely be better. Just these 4 remaining here, so it shouldn't be too bad to get these on there. Hopefully. Let me realign this a little bit here. Don't fall. Thank you. A lot of them fell on me. I had to redo them, on the top ones at least. The bottom ones were okay. The bottom ones weren't bad, because once you get these set and kind of move them with the forks a little bit over, I mean, they're not perfect, obviously, they're not touching, but you move them over a little bit, then you put the strap down on them, then they're not going to move, so then you can use it as a base wall, as long as you don't push too much, as if you push too much, the trailer's going to flip over, but for the most part, you can get that, accomplished without too many major issues. Alright, these I'm going to have to try to go from the back like this. Should be able to fit them up there, though. Shouldn't be a problem. Now, what we're likely to do is just leave these on here, because as soon as they're ready, we're going to sell these suckers. We're not going to hold on to them. Alright, that should be sufficient for now. I can reset the straps when I connect it to the tractor. Track the trailer to the tractor, rather. Perfect. Oh, we're good to go. 115,000 liters of grass in here. That's going to eventually be silage. That's going to be a nice payday right there. It's a payday that we're going to desperately need, for sure. And they should be ready in the next episode, early on in the next episode, which will be good for us because there's still potential we're going to need some kind of a silo. And with $4,649, which will be probably around $3,000 probably when we start the next episode, unless we do some contracts or something today or sell something else. $3,000 isn't going to cut it for a silo no matter which way we turn. What is happening right now? Is it me? Or does it look like everything's leaning to the left? I guess it's just the road. I guess it's the road. It just looked like we were about ready to, like, topple over. Still looks like we're ready to topple over. Yeah, maybe they're just, it's heavy, it's very much weighed down to the left, I guess. I just drilled that sign. That tornado was going. There were cars just driving right past it. I mean, it was right there on the edge of the road, as I showed you, and they were just driving right past it like it was no problem. Guys are insane. Alright, so let's see. Where are we going to put this at today? I don't really think I want to put it between the tree that we normally do, because that's just going to get in the way. I'm not sure we're going to mow the grass today or not. I think I'm just going to put it up here for now. Up here on the edge, next to the goats here. We do have a pallet and almost 2 pallets here of full pallets, I should say, of goat milk here. We've got one that's full, and this one is 582, so we're a little more than halfway on that one. We've got a lot of Napa cabbage that spawned, so that's good. All this stuff is all going to be sold in a certain period of time, which is not today. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tractor here for right now, at least the John Deere for right now. We're going to jump into the Challenger here. We're going to get the cultivator out, and we're going to go cultivate that field that we just took all the bales off of. As I had mentioned earlier in the episode, my initial goal was to have a worker do that while we harvested this field, but given the fact that the weather is not going to cooperate today, we are going to just shift gears to plan B here, which means we're going to cultivate it and then probably drill that field today. Okay, we're underway here, gang. This is going to be a fun one, I think, to cultivate. And when by a fun one, I mean it's going to be very awkward. It is an awkwardly shaped field. I think the steering assist may not even really help that much. Because I think we're going to have to reset it and restart it all the time, constantly, every time we get to a corner. Some corners it will go around, as you've seen in the past. But I think this one is a little bit too severe that it's not going to do so most of the time. Now, realistically, what we need to start doing is figuring out a way to save some money up. Sell something, obviously. And look, we're sliding down the hill, so that's going well. Save some money up and get some kind of a sawmill. We need to get a sawmill up here so we can start taking all these trees down, start making some planks, among other things, so that way we can take it and send it to the temple, or we can... I guess we can deliver it to the temple, either way, whatever way we're going to do it. But either way, we're going to have to start getting that going here relatively soon. Problem is today we don't really have the money to do so. One way we can go around that is by doing a couple of contracts. I'm not sure we're going to do them today, but that's an option for us. If we don't do them today, there's always, the following episodes we could do that. I will probably take a look at the contracts here. Once you go around the headland here a few times, I probably will take a look at the contracts a little bit. And if there's something out there that's decent that we can do, I might have a worker at least do some of this cultivation for us, and we go take up one of those contracts, and then that way maybe we can put a sawmill down. But if I recall correctly, the cheapest one that I currently have installed, I think is $10,000. So we're going to need something that's, a decent size for the contract. Can't be $2,000 or $3,000. It's going to really need to be, honestly, you're going to want it to be around $10,000 because we've got to make sure we have enough money to cover the expenses overnight, right? We can't really go into the red here, so we got to make sure we're able to pay off the loan and the other fees and interest we incur. So while we're doing that, oh, that's a nice pretty that's a nice tractor out there, actually. It's too bad we don't have enough money for it. Let's see. What do we got here? There's a cultivating one. I don't really want to do that. Fertilizing is probably the way to go. That's super easy for us. 5, 6. I mean, you're looking at 7,000 there. That's not really enough to get to where I just said, right? We need something around 10,000. So if we do those 3, we got to find something that's around 3,000 or 4,000 to do. I don't know where the steering assist is taking me there. That's the other thing, right? The steering assist gets a mind of its own a little bit, especially because I don't have the lines up. I probably should have the lines up on this field since we're not really that familiar with this field and since it's such an awkward shaped field, but I'm trying to do them without it. So we get up here to the end here, we'll turn back around, and when we go back down that path, we can go ahead and look and see if there's anything else out there that shouldn't take too long to do as far as the contract goes that we can pick up. That's somewhere around the $3,000 to $4,000 range. That's what we're looking for here. And we are sliding all over the place again. Okay. Some harvesting contracts. There's a mowing contract. That's a big mowing. That's a big field, though. That's a real big field. That weeding contract would be good. It's right next to us. It's almost 5. It's $4,000 by the time we take away the $400 for leasing the equipment. So there's a couple options there. Yeah, I think we do that. I think we do this one for sure, and then we can do the fertilizing ones. They're not terribly far away from our area. So yeah, let's do that. I'm going to get around the headland here the second time. Realistically, I understand I should be doing this in the middle first, the headland at the end, but I don't really care that much, honestly. We'll put the worker on doing it, and they can do the middle stuff. They can probably do the headland too if they want to, because I think the steering assist said that you would need to do the headland 3 times, I think. Which, given the fact of how awkward this field is, the shape at least, I guess it makes sense. Still has the tornado icon up there, but I don't see a tornado anymore unless there's a second tornado. No, there's not. There's not. So let me get up here to where we started at. We'll put this on a worker. We'll do the weeding contract first. Because you never know. Maybe they're in the time period of starting the weeding and finishing the contract. Maybe something else for weeding comes out there that we can pick up. Since we already have the stuff leased, it would save us a little bit of funds. All right, AI worker, work the headlands on. Start with that's fine. Okay, go ahead. Have fun. All right, so let's do the weeding, and we want to borrow items. That's a big weeder, man. Look at that thing. That thing's huge. I would love to see a second one come out. There's one right in front of us. Let's have that one pop out. Now, field 3, I think, is the one right next to us. Yes, it is. So we know where that is. We don't really need to have the map on to see that one. We know where that is. Given the size of this, and knowing that that field is kind of skinny and long, it really won't take too long, I don't think. Which is nice, man. That's great. I would love to have this field. It's a little pricey, but I would love to have it. It's in our yard. It doesn't really help, with the exception of money. It doesn't really help us with any of the threats. But it would certainly help with being able to, provide us with a little bit more funds that we could help utilize for the temples, especially, right? If nothing else. Buying the harvester for the green beans. That's $500,000 right there by itself. Alright, we can turn the beacons off. It's a little slow process with 6 miles per hour. I was hoping it was going to be about 9 or 12, like like the hoe is, but, you know, it is what it is. It's a pretty big weeder, so I guess I kind of get it. Let's get it done. All right, we're nearly done here. Gang, it didn't take too long at all. Hopefully, there's another contract out here for the weeding here, so we can continue to utilize this. But I'm not gonna hold my breath. But let's find out. Come on, quick save. Hurry up. There you go, buddy. There you go. No. There are some hoeing ones out there, but no, there's nothing out here for weeding. So, we will return this then. We'll collect. Boom. Okay, it puts us up to 8675, which is not too bad at all. Okay, how is the worker doing on the cultivation? Still going strong here. There's a lot left to do. They are going to have to do a headland pass the second time, as I said. Well, one more time, I should say, as I mentioned before. We may have to do a little touch-up work here and there, but that's okay if we do. All right, so let's hook up here to the fertilizer spreader here. We're going to probably have to buy some fertilizer, which means we're probably going to utilize the money we just made off that contract to purchase this, but it is what it is. Let's just see how much is in here. 2,000. I don't know if that's going to be enough. We might just give it a shot, and we can buy some from the shop if we need to. As we recall, right, we're going to get rid of that silo eventually and probably upgrade it to something else, but for now, we can just buy stuff from the shop. It's not that far away anyway. So let's do these contracts here. So I think we're going to start with field 1 first, because the other ones are down in the south there, near our other field where our workers currently working on cultivating it up, right? So I think we'll work on 1 first. We'll see how much fertilizer we have left after it's done. I do not really know what to even think. All right, Walter. That was probably my fault, but we're going to gloss over that. I'm going to blame you anyway. And the nice thing about field 1 is it is right next to the shop, right? So if we do need more, we're right there. Ease access to pick it up. I'm hoping we won't need more for all 3 of these, but I suspect we're going to need at least 1 box or 1 bag or whatever of fertilizer, so. Is what it is. Now we are going to utilize steering assist here just to try to help assist us. Just make sure we save as much fertilizer as possible. Alright, we are underway. Now, the nice thing about doing the fertilizer spreading is that it really does not take us too long to do this. And it's good money. It does cost a little bit of money with the fertilizer that you have to spend, right? But it is good money. I like doing fertilizing. I love it, actually. It's one of my favorite things to do. Fertilizing and spraying, and then all of a sudden recently, doing the hoeing and stuff. Like, that is, I don't know what it is, but I like it. I think I like the change of the field, like the colors of the fields and everything, right? I just like the animation of the fertilizer being spread out, I guess. Yeah, I actually think we're going to be able to have enough fertilizer here to do all the fields. Because we're running, I mean, we're going out of it quickly here, but we still have 15%. We still have 2,000 liters in here, and I mean, if we're only going to use just a little over 1,000 on this field, more than likely, the other fields are much smaller, so we should be fine, right? I mean, we're already 65% done with this field, too. We won't have to do the entire field either. It does give you a little bit of wiggle room, air room, whatever you want to call it, a little bit of space in case you don't have to get the entire field completely covered. Okay, well, I just realized I've been not talking to you. I've been talking to you, rather, without recording. I went ahead and turned all the contract stuff in, and I purchased this new Sawmill. So this is a new Sawmill that came out on Mod Hub for us console players recently. I'm utilizing it, actually, in the Survival Challenge as well. But it's a very nice Sawmill. It's very small footprint. Doesn't cost a ton of money. It's about 10 grand. And I decided to put it here. I was kind of talking to you about where I decided I want to put it at. I was thinking maybe here, potentially, but I was like, there's not many trees here because a lot of this isn't our own land that we own. Most of the trees we own are down here. So I decided to do it down here. It's a little bit flatter. It's not perfect by any means, but it will do the trick, and it's going to be temporary anyway, right? Once we get rid of all of these trees, we're going to get rid of this. We don't need it anymore. So it should do the trick here for us. So before we get ahead and move on, we've got a few minor things we need to touch up in the field there. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. What does the temple need first? Let's make sure we get that set. What do we need first here in the temple? Planks long. So that's the only thing we really want to turn on right now, because that was a lot of planks long it needs. So, yeah. Planks long. That's what we want. So just to make sure everything's working properly, let's go ahead and, well, first of all, we don't have a chainsaw. Normally I have a chainsaw in every series when I start it. I always have a chainsaw. We don't in this one. So, let's buy a chainsaw. I think we're utilizing the Husqvarna and the steel already, so let's do the McCulloch. Yep, perfect. And let's chop down a tree that we can pick up. I'm not sure that one's going to... I think that one's going to be a little bit too big. Let's chop this guy down. This one we should be able to. I thought I was going to say aspen. It's not aspen. It's a Betula or Armani? I don't know. Probably saying that all wrong, but... yes, we can pick that up. Perfect. There's some glitching going on. It was happening in the survival challenge. It's happening again here, evidently, when you pick up stuff. Okay, it accepted it, no problem. So there we go. It's already starting. Good. All right. So we know it's going to work. All right, so we're going to leave that there for now. Let's jump into here. I had it on already. Whoops. Let's do a little bit of touch-up work. There's a few tiny pieces that were missed here, and I know I'm putting tracks in the ground here, and I really shouldn't or don't want to be doing that, but that's all right. We're doing it anyway. There's a little tiny bit here and there that the worker missed that we're just going to touch up instead of continuing to have the worker on and run around doing it again. There's no reason for me to do that. I can just do it myself. It'll take me a few seconds and we're done. And there's another bit up here. And we're not going to be able to re-drill this field today, gang. We're just running out of time for the episode, but that's okay. We can do it in the next episode, or we can have a worker do it in the next episode, or whatever we decide to do. Not a big deal. All right. The field has been cultivated. We've got a sawmill. We're ready to go. We've got the chainsaw. Things are progressing, gang. We are on our way to beginning the temple production. So, we're going to leave the episode at that point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. It's free. Helps me out a ton. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas. You know the drill. Let me know them down below. Thanks so much for your continued support. Thanks so much for 4,000 subscribers. That's insane, gang. On to 5,000, and I'll see you in the next one.